Hey everybody, it's Tim again, and once in a while, I'm usually on top of these things, but I go into a store and I see a figure I had no idea was coming out, and that is a figure for Dune Part 2, a Christopher Walken action figure. I can't believe that we finally have a Christopher Walken action figure. Now, maybe there is one from Hot Toys or somebody who's done something along the line that I don't know, and you can tell me in the comments if one has come up prior to this. Whatever the case may be, this is a figure that looks exactly like the guy, which is somewhat of a surprise considering I remember the figures from the first Dune movie from McFarlane. I was pretty underwhelmed. I mean, you got the Timothée Chalamet and maybe, was there, I forget, maybe a Batista one, whatever. I mean, a Rebecca Ferguson one, I think, and really the likenesses weren't that good. But all of a sudden, for this one, clearly they upped their game on this one, and they did it for not only one of the coolest actors in the world, they did it for a high-profile movie, and I have no idea how big of a part he even has in this movie. Going to find out when it comes out in the first few months of 2024. I know it was pushed back because of the Screen Actors Guild and SAG-AFTRA strike, and maybe had something to do with getting it prepped in time for the award season. The first movie was a big awards contender, so who knows if this will be the same time next year. But anyway, let's take a look at 360 at this figure. Again, Dune Part 2. They're just branding the box as Dune. I suppose, saying this is just the overall movie experience, but certainly this character was Emperor Shaddam Part 4 in the first one. I can't even remember. But whatever the case may be, they're producing an action figure for this second part. And on the back there, you can see it's Christopher Walken. Normally he has the spiky sort of hair or the slicked back sort of hair. Dude's got a good head of hair. It's gray this time, and I'm going to give you a better look at that head of hair when I pop this figure out of the box. Again, I'm really excited. This appears to be like a 6-inch scale action figure. We'll find out. Okay, I'm back with another look at the Dune Part 2 action figure of Emperor Shaddam the Fourth, played by the always great Christopher Walken, and I've loved this guy since the very beginning. First time, of course, I saw him, and I think a lot of people saw him for the first time, was in The Deer Hunter, but obviously over the years he's done so much more. Loved him in The Dead Zone. Of course, he had a memorable part in Pulp Fiction. I mean, the guy has over 140 screen credits. Even in The Jungle Book, as he played the ape that was so menacing, King Louis, and he reminded me, it was like a Colonel Kurtz and a Godfather figure put together, a Don Vito Corleone character, I should say. But man, of course, he's got that remarkable voice that everybody tries to mimic, including me. And yeah, I know that impression is terrible, but it's such a thrill to finally get an action figure of this guy. Something I guess I never expected, and that's why I'm so excited about this. Now, if you look at the figure out of the package, it comes with only two things, okay? First of all, we got a card. And McFarlane does this with all their DC action figures as well. It's a pretty nice quality card. Has a character description on the back. And, of course, we have a branded stand here. For Dune. No other accessories. Again, I didn't read Dune. I couldn't tell you what the second part of the book or whatever they're basing this movie on is about, how big his character is, whatever. I'm just excited over the fact that Christopher Walken is in the movie. Let's give you a 360 look at the figure. And again, it's got that Walken hair. Not spiky. We see it a lot in his roles where he's got the really spiky hair. Just reminded me, too, my God, he was in Severance, too, wasn't he? Boy, he's in a lot of different things. And let's just hope he keeps going and going. I mean, obviously, you want to bring in the best you can for a movie like Dune. I mean, it was a huge hit worldwide. It was a huge Academy Award nominee, I know, the first time out. So, yeah, you got to just bring in the big guns when you can. And I am so glad they're bringing him in, not only from a film standpoint, just from the fact that he's a great actor, but just from the fact that, hey, we get a great action figure. Now, look at this likeness. It is a great likeness, captures that cheekbone. He just has such of a distinct look and stare. It's like the dude is staring into your soul. Okay, and you can see the different facial features there, the facial accents. Again, the hair is gray. Looks a lot like the character in the card. There you go. So yeah, I mean, side by side, you're saying, wow. They did a terrific job here. There we go. Kind of a profile by profile photo right there. Now, I did this before I started making this video, but this head does indeed pop off. For customizing stuff, I would imagine. I love this material. Okay, this flowing rope. Now, I always love this when they put wiring in for more dynamic poses. It's just not flopping and flowing all over the place. Of course, you got the regular articulation like you would do with all the other action figures, wrist, elbows, shoulders, does bend at the knees as well. Okay, but yeah, I am so impressed just because, it really just comes down to likeness for me. If you don't have the likeness of the actor in the figure, I'm out. It just doesn't, it's just like you're looking at an imitator, somebody, a cosplayer maybe, that doesn't quite look like the person. So, but yeah, it's a $24.99 figure, probably a little bit too expensive for this. I would imagine movie licensing comes into the whole deal this time around. But considering that you're getting, there's the latest Darth Vader figure, the battle damage one, that's $27.99. It's like Hasbro just keeps upping that stuff, and I think the only accessory that has is an actual lightsaber. So yeah, man, it's tough. Those are, of course, 6-inch scale figures. I thought this was one in the package, but it actually comes in at just a tick under 7. So I guess you could say that these Dune figures, again, I didn't get any of the original ones from the first film. Maybe those were 7-inch scale as well. So great part about this is, and I didn't even think about this until I was driving home, he has such great customizable possibilities because of this robe. Now, gonna give you a little tip here quick. I love the NECA Universal Monsters action figures, and it seems to me that a crucial character in The Bride of Frankenstein was wearing an outfit similar to this. So after I take a pause, I'm going to bring in the Frankenstein's monster figure from NECA and talk about what I mean. Okay, I'm back with the Frankenstein's monster action figure from NECA here on the right. On the left is the Dune Part 2 action figure of Emperor Shaddam IV, played by the always great Christopher Walken. And you know what? There's that scene in The Bride of Frankenstein, one of my all-time favorite scenes ever put on film, where the blind man takes him in and shows such kindness and compassion to the monster. And, we are getting a Bride of Frankenstein figure of Frankenstein's monster coming out, along with a chair that he was restrained to from NECA. I can see placing this figure in place of the blind man figure for some, possible customizable possibilities, because the material, the look, it's got, the robe, the darker robe, presumably brown. Of course, we saw that film in black and white. Yeah, he does have hair, and he's not bald, and he doesn't have a white beard. If I can find a figure that looks like that. Again, this head pops off. I could see popping that one on, but hey, who's to say I can't put a Christopher Walken action figure in to take place of Frankenstein's friend, the blind man, in that film. So I'm excited for the fact that this is a Walken figure, but I'm also excited for the fact that I can essentially kind of bring other characters into the fold, into NECA's Universal Monsters line until they create a blind man figure. Man, I'm really, really excited. So thanks for watching this video. My name is Tim Lammers and I review cool movie toys. Thanks for watching these videos, and please like this video. Please tell all your Dune loving friends, all your Christopher Walken loving friends, and I will be back with another unboxing and review soon. Happy toy hunting, everybody.